convert over to a dual purpose flock. And I'm going to try to start with some bigger numbers. Hopefully you can hear me over the fan. My air conditioning does not work very well, so it's turned up pretty high. Anyways, I'm in the car, obviously, and I am driving to get some hatching eggs. Now, you may be thinking,
Amanda, you have a rooster. Why are you going to get hatching eggs when you already have fertile eggs at home?
I'm glad you asked. Well, if you've been following for a while, you know that I have been trying, very unsuccessfully, to convert my chicken flock over to a dual purpose flock instead of mainly egg laying. And I've tried to do this several times. When we first were getting started back in 2021, that was our first spring here, I reached out to a local breeder, started following her and the work she was doing, and I got 3 pullets from her. At the time, we also had some accidental Ranger roosters, which is a meat breed. So I was just kind of dip my toes in a little bit, and the more I followed her, the more I watched those pullets grow, the more we started talking about, okay, probably dual purpose is going to be a better choice for our homestead. So fast forward, she kind of got out of the breed I wanted to do. She was working with 2 breeds at the time, Black Silver Morans and American Breasts. And the American Breasts aren't really all that pretty to look at. They're just white. Harriet the chicken is an American Breast. She's one of those first bullets I got. So they're not super flashy at all. So I wanted to go with the Black Silver Morans. And a couple of years ago, this breeder friend of mine stopped working with them. However, I had another friend who had some stock from her, so I got some hatching eggs that are originally from this breeder's stock, and I tried to hatch them out and go that route, for converting over to the Black Silver. Well, not very many hatched. The ones that did, not many survived. And so that just didn't work out. And at the time, I had 1 Black Silver Moran's hen left, Jenny, who we loved. And then I got 2 roosters from those hatching eggs. That's all that survived. So I was like, okay, well, it's slim pickings, but I have rooster, really good quality rooster, and I have Jenny, which is a wonderful hen. So I'll hatch Jenny's eggs, and we'll get our Black Silver flock that way. And then Jenny died. So that didn't work out. So now I have a Black Silver Moran's rooster and no hens. And there are very few Black Silver Moran's breeders in the country. So I couldn't really easily get any more. So I'm like, okay, well then let's go for the breasts instead. So I still had Harriet. Not last year, the year before, I had gotten 3 more breast hens. One of them ended up dying, but so that put me at 3 total breast hens. And I had that Black Silver rooster, so I was like, no, I need a breast rooster so that I can breed in and not have mixed breed. They grow better when they're purebred, etc., etc. So I got a rooster from this breeder, Colonel, and he was great. So spring comes, I'm going to separate him with the breast hens, and we're going to breed up that way. Well, my breast hens are starting to get a little older and not laying very much. And then Colonel died. So that didn't work either. So now here we are. I'm about to pull in here, and I'm going to get about 30 hatching eggs from her, load up both incubators, and try to start her best roosters, because she only keeps like her top 1%, the absolute best, and the rest she puts in the freezer. She only keeps the best, which is awesome because it makes her birds all the better. But anyway, so we walk out there to see her bachelor pen so she can show me which rooster is her favorite and why and everything. And this guy just opened up and started pouring, which I was not expecting. It was been like sunny, probably 90 degrees, and yeah. So I got very wet. But anyways, so I've got my eggs here. I'm take them home. I've already got the incubators warmed up, ready to go, so I can put them in, and in about 3 weeks we should have some chicks. It's really dark in here. Maybe I can. Ah, there we go. Okay. We are 7 days in to incubating, which means it is time to candle. And see what the fertility rate is on these eggs. Hopefully really good. Hopefully they're all developing really well. So let us see. A little snug on space here. So I'm going to, well, for one, unplug this egg turner while I do it. Don't let me forget to plug that back in. I'm gonna put this over here closer to you, if I can get you there without knocking you over. Okay, I have issues with my fan. Excuse the noise. Okay, hopefully you can hear me. This early, we're just looking for blood vessels, which, oops. I don't know if you can see. Let's see if I can. There we go. Blood vessels. So this one is good. I've got to remember where I started here. Oh, I see blood vessels there too. I don't know how to keep this focused, but there. Because it keeps trying to readjust. I don't think I can lock the focus when I'm using the front camera. Yep, we've got some vessels here too. Now for these, I have been dry hatching. Ooh, that one's real good. Which means I'm not adding water to the incubator during the, that's a really good one. I'm not adding water to the incubator during the initial incubation period, only during lockdown, which is the last 3 days. Reason for that is, for one, summer is quite humid, and so it stays pretty humid on its own. And for two, I was speaking with my breeder that I got these from, and she was saying that curled toes are a result of humidity changes. This one's looking questionable, guys. Oh, cat scared me. Might be a little blood vessel there, but it's really hard to tell. So I might put a question mark on this one. So I'm not adding any extra water, and it's staying pretty humid. Less when the AC is on, but still I think it's okay. It's not been like huge changes. So hopefully they'll do great. I think those were good too, so we're good for fertilization. Hey guys, we are now at week 2, which means one more week to go on these eggs. And my phone is dying, so hopefully I can get to this before that happens. But I did notice, let me see if I can get this off and show you. I did notice there is one in here that's got some leakage going on. So yeah, that one's just gonna be bad. So we're gonna take that one out for sure. That's just gross. But then the rest of these we're just going to candle right quick, see how they're doing, and then get rid of any bad ones, keep any good ones. There's a lot of veins on that. And a big dark spot that's moving around. I don't know if you can see it kicking. And this is the one that had a question mark on it before. Yep, it's good. Icy movement, icy veins. Oh, that one's not. That one looks like it dudded. Yeah, no veins on that one. So that's 6 duds from this incubator. Are good. There were 6 bad and this one. And there's 8 in here, so I can't just combine them, so we'll just keep both of them going. Alright, 1 week to go. Well, I was planning to make a daytime video explaining that I have put these incubators into lockdown, which means that I took the turntables out so they wouldn't be rotating anymore. And then I also added some water for added humidity so nobody gets shrink wrap while they're hatching out. So that was my plan, to explain all of this to you guys. Well, I guess I just did this morning before I had a chance to. We have an early bird. Yeah, so we have one, and then there's a few of other eggs that have pipped, which is the first initial crack in the shell. So what happens inside the shell, before they hatch out, there's an air sac on the fat end of the shell that they will peck into, and they will breathe that air as they are resting, saving up their energy to hatch out. And then once they get ready, they will put a small crack into the shell. That's called pipping. And then they might wait. You know, they have that oxygen from outside now, so they'll just wait. Sometimes 24 or more hours before they will eventually zip out, which is where they peck all the way around the outside of the fat end of the egg, and then push it open, and out they come. So it's a very long, exhausting process. You can imagine how claustrophobic it has got to be. But it is a process, and you can't rush it, or you could injure the bird, because during their resting period, they're also absorbing all of the blood from all those blood vessels that you could see during the candling, and they're absorbing the egg yolk for nutrition. So a lot is going on in here that you don't see while they are pipped and just sitting. So this little one jumped the gun. He apparently, or she, decided that they want to wait longer. But the rest of these may take a bit. So we may see more today, or we may not see until tomorrow. Good morning. Next morning, and let's see, when we went into lockdown there were 25 eggs. So far we have 10 chicks, 9 in the nurture right, and still just this one over here. Not sure what that's about. I will say, I don't know if something got on the sensor or what, but this incubator randomly spiked 106 degrees yesterday. I don't know why. I got it cooled back down, but I'm really hoping they didn't cook the rest of the ones in the eggs. That would be really bad. So yeah, that's where we're sitting. And Felix and these guys are getting a little bit cramped, so I'm going to take the dried off and fluffy ones and go put them in the brooder so that the others have have a little bit more room to move around and dry off and such. And the ones that haven't hatched yet, hopefully will have some space to do that. So in this incubator, the one that had pipped yesterday and was starting to break out had died and shrink wrapped up, I'm guessing because of that heat spike. There was one more that was pipped and still alive, but it was starting to dry out a little bit, so I went ahead and zipped around and then stuck him in here, just a couple good pushes, and he'll be able to get out. I think he's resting right now. The rest of them, I candled them and it looks like they're all dead. Which really stinks. So, yeah. But there's a couple more pipped in here. So hopefully we'll still get a couple more out of it, because Lord knows I could pay good money for these eggs. I really wanted an excellent hatch rate. And it seemed like they were doing really good right up to the end. So we'll just see how many we get total. Right now we're at 11, almost 12. There's another one zipping and another one that was just starting to break out. So it's definitely not 30, but it's rare to have a 100% hatch rate. So I wasn't really expecting 30, but 25 would have been good. So we'll see. Lord willing, it'll be enough to get us going, and then next year we can hatch out a bunch more and be on our way. Well, there they are. We ended up getting 15 chicks, so not as many as I would have liked, but it definitely could have been worse. We did end up having, small machine malfunctions, which is not totally unheard of on the really small incubators. It happens. I don't think that particular problem's happened before, but it happened. So in theory, about 50% of these will be roosters, which we can choose the best two to keep as breeders. The rest will go for meat for the freezer for our family. And then in theory, 7 or 8 of them will be hens. So hopefully that'll be enough to get us started breeding them going forward and starting our own little breast flock. And the incubator's already refilled and got quail in it right now, because our quail numbers are actually pretty far down, both in the freezer and the breeding pens. So we don't have very many right now. And yeah, so those are already underway. And we will show you when those hatch, as well as when we figure out what kind of chickies these are. So be sure to follow along to see that. Hit the subscribe button below to make sure that you don't miss anything. And if you've enjoyed this video and watching all the little chickies hatching out, please give us a like. See you next time.